Hello, I'm Bruce.
And I'm Chad.
And we're partners with Southern Wildlife
and Southern Pest Management.
And today we're going to answer a few frequently asked questions about the Eastern gray squirrel. The first one up is, I see them and hear them crawling across my roof. How do I know if they're getting in? Well, you don't know, which is why we strongly urge us coming out there, doing a thorough inspection to determine whether they're actually getting in your attic. But it's a good chance if they're crawling around your roof and you hear them on top of it, that they do have some sort of access inside the attic. But again, it's best if we get out there, do a thorough inspection of your attic and any other similar spaces, just find out if the activity is currently inside.
Yep. All right, next question. Will gutter guards keep squirrels out of my attic? Few and far between are the systems that can actually accomplish this. They're cost prohibitive, and honestly, they will not work in every situation. Honestly, the best thing is going to be to have us trap and exclude the building with our proper techniques and materials that we know how to use. And the nice thing is when we exclude the house, more often than not, you can hardly even tell any work has been done because aesthetics are important to us. We don't want to create any eyesores on your home, but we also want to solve any critter issues in the present and the future.
All right, next up. Here's a funny one. Will owl decoys keep the squirrels away? The reason I say this is funny is because most squirrel trapping jobs we go on have some sort of decoy or something that was promised to be effective, but we're out there. So what that kind of tells us is, yes, they may work for a very short period of time, if any time at all, but the fact of the matter is these things just get used to these decoys just sitting there, not actually posing a threat to them other than being, a visual threat. And like I said, they'll just get used to that thing. They'll recognize that it's not real.
Yeah, when they don't move around, even with the head turning ones, that just does not have any real results over a long period of time because those, decoys just don't get up and move, don't make any other threatening movements. So they get acclimated very quickly. So.
Yeah, and it's important to note that these animals that might be around that decoy are constantly in that area. That is their foraging area, so they will consistently see this thing. So it doesn't take long at all for them to notice that it's not, a real thing.
Yep. Here's another good one, kind of along similar lines. Will noise emitters and/or mothballs help keep the squirrels out? So, again, initially with any changes, a lot of these creatures are what we call neophobic, which means they're afraid of new things. So initially, yes, you may achieve some repellency with these things. In the case of the noise emitters, though, that also has the same diminishing returns. I've removed squirrel nests from these noise emitters. He's been there and had to do the same thing. And with the mothballs, this is a unique issue because you typically have to put so many mothballs up there. It's repellent to humans at some point, but also the fact of the matter is the odor from mothballs is that pesticide converting from a solid, the mothball, to a gas, the odor that you smell. And people don't want to be breathing in pesticides if we're going to be honest. So it's not a good solution.
So just to refresh, any of these things that you might have read about or seen on the internet or heard about from a friend, may work for a short period of time, but it's not a permanent solution. Obviously, the best solution is to get out there, trap these animals out, and then exclude them from ever being able to get back in again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next question: can't we just leave them be? Well, yeah. I mean, you could leave them be if you want. Multiple families of squirrels coming back to the same spot and having their young there. It could just be a habitual problem.
And also, so they'll mat down your insulation. They constantly have to chew, right? Because rodents need 4 things: food, water, shelter, and something to gnaw on. Their teeth always grow. So they will, over time, continually chew down your fascia board, continually chew down around your soffit box, your support beams, any wires and what have you.
While we're on the topic of chewing, that is a question. Will they chew wires and set the house on fire?
So it's a little rarer, but yeah, we can get 2 questions in one. It's rarer, but it does happen. And honestly, I can tell you it's inevitable. So if the squirrels just moved in, usually the adult squirrels don't seem to mess with the wires too much, but it's the young ones, the dumb ones, that spend a lot more time in that attic and end up chewing on all sorts of things that they maybe shouldn't. So any advanced squirrel issue, and by advanced I mean one that's been going on for a longer period of time, multiple generations coming in, every time there's been wires chewed. But it's just a matter of time. So if you get on top of it quickly, I wouldn't worry about it. However, I want to point out that while we're up there, we inspect the wires, we inspect everything we can. We try to be your eyes in the attic, on the roof, wherever it is. And we get those pictures to you and let you know if you need to hire any other contractors to come and solve the issues either during the work or after when we're done. So, I got a question here. Can I just trap and release them myself? So, sounds good in theory, but some of the more difficult squirrel situations we run into is when people trap things themselves and release them. These squirrels can find their way back from an astounding distance away. And the trick is, once they're in the trap, even a cage trap where they have some room to move and what have you, they do not like that trap. They will learn that that trap's an issue. And because we are restricted on the traps we can use for squirrels, with the wildlife, we have to use the live traps because they are somewhat protected like any other game animal. You don't want to ruin the only tool in our arsenal for us, because once you do that, the process can take a longer amount of time, which unfortunately can become more expensive.
Yep, just cost you more money. All right, won't they leave my attic in the summer? Well, it would seem like it, right? But here's the thing, is that these things can adapt to different climates, and they have young multiple times a year. So whereas they may not seem as active in the summer inside your attic, they can still nest there and even have a set of young there, no matter how hot it gets. We pull a lot of animals out of the attic, and it's really our busiest time of the year. So they may leave on their own, but it's not common, and most likely you will end up having to just seal up your home.
And they'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, they come in there once for a reason. They will be back. All right, so can you just patch the hole they're getting in at? This is another one of those common questions across the board for all critters, and we have tried it before to accommodate people, but at this point it fails so consistently that is not a solution, and we advocate this because your house along the roof line and what have you has tons of gaps. So if you just patch that one hole, they can move down the line, so to say, the gutter line, push up their shingles and start gnawing away at your fascia board and what have you to get back in. So not a solution. Ends up us having to make more trips, re-trap, and seal up more. So again, more trips, more money, more time. It's not good. So, all right, one more question you want to go?
All right, yeah. Do you kill them? Good question. We do our best not to kill anything in our line of work. I will say, by law, we are required to trap gray squirrels alive. So that means using a cage style trap. We have different types, but all these traps just basically lure them in with food and kind of keep them there secure until we're there every day checking on the traps to remove them and replace that trap. The only animals that we will even set kill traps for really that are a nuisance inside your home is rats. So to answer your question, do you kill them? No. It's in the best interest of them and our environment to do our best to not allow these things to die.
Yeah, we gotta remember, killing everything isn't the solution. They're getting in. Even if you got rid of those ones, killed those ones around the area, more will get up there and get in inevitably. Those pheromones, the scent markers they leave behind, it is just a huge welcome home sign for these critters. So you heard one of our critters over there. So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask us. And as always, we're here. If you want to get in contact with us, you can find all the information at southernpest.biz. That's our website. Thank you guys. Have a good one.